Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I'm doing an unboxing. I'm going to be unboxing the new Van Halen Vinyl Box Set. It's just been released today. This is 1986 through to 1996. Although actually, it does also have some tracks from the Best of Both Worlds greatest hits, the Sammy Hagar, the new Sammy Hagar songs. And that was recorded, of course, after 1996. So yeah, here it is. Taken out of the box, but the sealed, it's still sealed. So I'll just open up the seal here. Okay, here we go. So basically, this is a follow-up from the David Lee Roth era song box set. So these ones are just the Sammy Hagar ones. And basically you've got four studio albums. So you got your 4 studio albums, so I'll just turn it around here. So 5150, which was the first one, OU812, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, FUCK, Balance. So they're your 4 studio albums that Sammy Hagar did with Van Halen. But you've also got, which I think is really cool, Studio Rarities. Which is an interesting name for them. They're not actually that rare. Basically, you've got your tracks from the Twister soundtrack, and you've got your tracks like I talked about before. They were on the Best of Both Worlds, and you do have a couple of songs that were on the CD-only version of Balance and OU812, but also crossing over. I think it's like Van Halen's only B-side, really, when you think about it. Which is a great song. So that's on there, and Respect the Wind, and Human Beings, of course, are the Twister songs from the soundtrack to Twister. So it's cool that they put those on there. Some box sets that have been released recently are great, but sometimes they do forget the rarities, the B-sides, or even the songs that may have been on a greatest hits. I sometimes would quite like it if, as part of the box set, they put the greatest hits collection in there. I know you've got all the songs, but sometimes it's, for me, I quite like a greatest hits. So I'm going to put on the greatest hits album, or the best of album, and just put that on. So like with the Rat one, I would have liked. I know they gave you that song, that exclusive sort of song. They gave you that as like a 7-inch single. But I would have liked the greatest hits. What was it called? 81 to 91, something like that. But they don't bother putting that in there, and I just think that would have been cool. The Dokken one didn't have any of the B-sides, especially, Back for the Attack had the title track, Back for the Attack. Wasn't anywhere on the box set. They'd put that Dokken album, that Back for the Attack album, into 2 LPs. So I just think, if you're going to do a box set, like, collect everything. And I think they've done a really great job here, from what I can see, of collecting everything that you could possibly get from the Sammy Hagar era. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I like Roth and Hagar pretty much equally. I think they both have some great qualities. I mean, they're quite different as well. Of course, the consistent part of it is, of course, Michael Anthony and, the Van Halen brothers. Eddie Van Halen, of course, on guitar is amazing. And I think through all the Van Halen albums, I've always enjoyed his work and listening to him and his guitar playing. Doesn't matter who the singer is, right? Now, of course, we are missing Van Halen 3, but we're not going to talk about that one. I think everyone's just sort of going, hey, Van Halen have released so many amazing albums. Let's just forget that one. So, yeah, and this... I'll look at the hype sticker first. So it says here, 5 LPs remastered from the original tapes. So they've been remastered. So I'm not sure about remixed. So there is a difference. I had a feeling they had been as well. But so there's a bit of a slightly different mix, but I don't know because I haven't had a chance to actually listen to, compare them yet. But anyway, let's have a look. So yeah, really nice box set, as you would expect. It's weird that it does say 86 to 96 when it's not strictly true. Maybe they didn't want to call it the Hagar years or Van Hagar or anything like that. I get they didn't want to do that. But yeah. Anyway, so let's have a look. Let's go to the first one, of course, OU812. Sorry, not the 5150, that's the first one. So, yeah. Now, I did have the original copies of all these albums, except for I did not have Balance. And of course, again, that's one of the things about this box set, which is fantastic. For a lot of people, Balance is the one album that they didn't have. And so, yes, it's great that they can, people can now get Balance on vinyl and also with the Rarities disc as well. But I do wonder why, and there's probably a good reason for it, I don't know. But when you know you've got an album, and it's just one, that is really hard for people to get, it's a little bit rare, why, if people want to get it, they have to buy a box set? Like, it would have been, I think, to be fair, it would have been nice if they had just reissued, because Balance is available, or has been available on vinyl, but super difficult to get, really hard to find, and at a good price. Paying lots of money if you do want to buy it. So I do kind of wonder why they didn't just reissue Balance on vinyl and then do the box set. And if people want to get the Rarities, just fair enough, then you got to buy the box set. Perhaps. Even that's a bit harsh, isn't it? You want the Rarities, you got to buy the whole box set. I mean, maybe even put that out separate. And then if you want it all in a nice box, I don't know. I could almost handle the Rarities thing because, look, all these things you could actually get if you really wanted them. Granted, maybe not necessarily on vinyl, but you could get them. But, I just think maybe, I know for me, it was like, well, I do want the Rarities, and I do want Balance, but, I've already got the other three. So, anyway, I actually managed to, I sold my other copies. So I sold my 5150, OU812, and For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Because I thought, well, I might as well. I'm not the kind of person who wants original copies if I'm going to get a reissued copy as well. I don't need multiple copies of the album. It would have been interesting, I will admit, it would be interesting to play them and just hear the sound quality. I'm sure someone will do that and let people know about that. But yeah, so anyway, that's my little rant about the box sets. I think box sets are great, but give people the opportunity maybe to just buy one or two albums individually if that's how they would prefer to do it. It's possible that, in a few months' time or a year's time or something like that, Balance will be reissued or, by itself on vinyl, and people would still buy that, right? There's a lot of people who, and I know people who are not going to buy the box set because they've got all the albums, and they're not going to spend money on a box set just for a Rarities album and for one, the Balance album. So, granted, in saying that too, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge is not an easy one to get on vinyl either. So, I think for a lot of people, this will be a box set that they've been waiting for. Now, as opposed to the David Lee Roth one, which I don't have, and I didn't bother getting because I already had all the records on vinyl, so I already had them all. There didn't seem to be any extras that was really made it worthwhile, so I haven't bothered with it. Maybe at some point I will, because I do like having a box set. It's really nice the way it's all in a box like this. It's nice. So maybe at some point, but yeah, if you're going to put out a box set, you've got to kind of make it worth my while, which is also why I haven't bothered with the Rat box set as well. Anyway, so here we go, 5150. So same album cover, of course. The back, and again, as they got into the habit of doing, no song titles on the back cover. And actually, I think my, oh, maybe it's not this one actually. I think it's OU812. It actually had a sticker on it which told you the track listing. We'll see if this one's got it. But there we go. That's the same inner sleeve that was on the original. I recognise that. And just get the vinyl out. These are really hard to get out when you first are getting them out. Okay, so here's the vinyl. Yeah, not the label that I'm used to seeing. For this, it's got Warner Records. I'll just put that to the side. Okay. And move on to the next one. So the next one, OU812. Okay, so yeah, again, no tracks listed on the cover, but that was exactly how the original was. But my old copy had like a little sticker here, it had all the tracks listed on it. Okay, and yep, my inner sleeve was exactly like that as well. Lyrics on there. Right, now it's got to probably struggle to go. This one's coming out a lot easier. That one was a bit difficult. Okay, and then yeah, same. Actually, interesting. This has got the same. I'm pretty sure my previous. I'll just show you. I'm pretty sure my previous copy of 5150 didn't have a label like that on it. But that's my memory. But the OU812 definitely did. They had a label like that because I remember that. Yeah, this hand signal here. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, and then it had the song listings on that label. Yeah. Anyway, not much else there, so we'll move on. So, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Now, they did put the songs on this one, the back cover, down here. Yep, it's pretty much the same. Produced by Andy Johns and Ted Templeman. Yep, and there's, yep, same inner sleeve. See what the record looks like. Yeah, so it's back to this label. I've never seen this before. It just says Warner Records. Maybe that's the way Warner are doing their labels now. It doesn't look like the old label. But anyway, I don't know how interesting that is for people, but there we go. So that's that one. And this one is the only one I've never had. So nice to have this one in my hands. I actually quite like this cover. I think it's quite cool. So it's nice to see a big version of it. So here we are, Balance. And yeah, let's look at the inner sleeve. Okay, yeah, so that's quite interesting. So the inner sleeve, like I have this on CD, but I can't remember what it looks like really. But it's interesting that was also a cover, the cover for a single. I'll just grab it just a second. Got it just here actually. So this is the single for Don't Tell Me. So that is the same as this. Yeah. And this may be on the CD. I can't remember what the inner on the CD looks like. But yeah, it's got the lyrics there. And yeah, so that's that one. Let's move that over there. Okay, last one. This is the, well, along with Balance, probably the one that I'm most looking forward to playing. Van Halen Studio Rarities. So pretty basic sort of a cover. I don't think you wouldn't say they've gone to a lot of work with the cover and design of it, but it's okay. Is what it is. And it's the back cover. Yeah, and then it's just telling you where these songs come from. So the first couple of tracks from the CD, like I said, from the CD OU812 and from the CD Balance. So those first two tracks are tracks that you'd already have if you had the CD. But then you've got Crossing Over, which is the B-side to Can't Stop Loving You, which I do actually have. I think I've showed this before on my channel. Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, so here's the B-side. So I had to get this because of the B-side, Can't Stop Loving You. I'm sorry, Crossing Over, which is a great song. So, but yeah, Crossing Over, and then Respect the Wind, which is like an instrumental track from the Twister soundtrack. And then on side B, another one from Twister, but a really fantastic song. I love the song. Humans Humans Being, really good song. I was disappointed that they broke up after they just released such a killer song like Humans Being, you know. But yeah, and then of course they got back together with David Lee Roth. That didn't really work out. They did that Greatest Hits, and then they, well, you know what happened there. They then got together with Gary from Extreme, did an album that we're not going to talk about, and then they got back together with Sammy, and they recorded 3 songs for their Best of Both Worlds, another Greatest Hits. So it's About Time, which is a good one. Up for Breakfast, and Learning to See. Probably It's About Time is my favorite of the 3, but they're not bad songs. But yeah, I haven't heard them on vinyl before, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So so there we go. So that is it. 4 studio albums and an extra LP with bonus tracks on it. I'm going to be honest, I'm looking forward to playing them all, especially the ones, of course, I've never had on vinyl. You know, all of these albums I like. Some I like more than others. For me, probably Unlawful Carnal Knowledge is my favorite, but all the other albums, and even this one, has some good tracks on it that I enjoy playing. So so there we go. It's only just been released, of course, today. I pre-ordered it, and it actually arrived on the day it's supposed to arrive. So I thought, why not do an unboxing? Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments. Are you getting this box set? Are you interested in getting the box set? What do you think about box sets? You know, some of the questions I raised. What do you think about, you know, the Van Hagar era? For me, I know it's something that people debate and talk about a lot. A lot of the time, from the impression I get, a lot of people are more, if they have an opinion, they're more the David Lee Roth camp. Me, I'm actually more sort of, I'm just in the Van Halen camp, really. I like both pretty much equally. But yeah, so anyway, hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button if you want to be made aware of more content like this. And thanks for watching, and I'll be back later. Okay, see ya.